Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
When I landed the lead role on Project Nightingale at Innovatech Solutions, it felt like I'd finally reached the pinnacle of my career. Years of relentless coding, late nights, and innovative thinking had led me to this moment, spearheading a groundbreaking AI initiative that promised to revolutionize data analytics. My team, my vision, my passion, it was all poured into Nightingale. Then came Damien Wester, a colleague whose ambition overshadowed any semblance of ethics. Damien was new to our division, brought in as a senior architect. From day one, I sensed an undercurrent of competitiveness, but I dismissed it, focusing on the monumental task at hand. Nightingale was complex, demanding constant innovation, and I often found myself discussing intricate details with Damien, believing I had found a trusted sounding board. What I didn't know was that he was systematically dismantling my work from the inside. One Friday afternoon, just weeks before our critical internal demo, everything collapsed. A core module, one I had personally overseen, inexplicably failed. Data pipelines crashed, algorithms returned garbage, and the entire system became unstable. My reputation, my project, my career, it all went up in flames. An emergency investigation found critical code errors and evidence of tampering. I was accused of gross negligence, my integrity questioned, and within a week I was let go. My dream job, my professional standing, all shattered, while Damien subtly distanced himself, even offering performative condolences. I later heard he was praised for stepping up during the crisis. For months, I was in a dark place. The tech world is small, and being fired for negligence from a high-profile project meant doors slammed shut in my face. But amidst the despair, a seed of suspicion grew. The errors were too precise, the sabotage too clean. It couldn't have been accidental. My gut screamed Damien. He had the access, the knowledge, and the ruthless ambition to pull it off. I remembered the odd questions he'd asked, the late nights he supposedly worked, and the gleam in his eye when I shared my most innovative solutions. I decided then and there that this wasn't just about clearing my name. It was about tearing down the man who had destroyed my life. This wouldn't be petty revenge. This would be absolute, career-ending devastation. My plan was meticulous and cold. Damien had taken my professional life. I would take his. I had to prove his culpability, not just for my project, but for a pattern of unethical behavior. I remembered his offhand remarks about a brilliant side project and a secret investment. These were my targets. I spent the next 6 months like a ghost, sifting through digital breadcrumbs. I used my skills, now honed by a burning desire for justice, to delve into public records, obscure corporate filings, and the deep corners of the internet. I started by looking into any startups connected to Damien. My breakthrough came when I discovered a nascent crypto-analytics startup, Flow, with Damien Wester listed as a silent partner and a key technical advisor. Their white paper and demo videos revealed the chilling truth. Flow was using significant chunks of code that were unmistakably mine. Code I'd developed for Nightingale, including the very algorithms Damien had sabotaged. He hadn't just sabotaged my project. He'd stolen its core intellectual property, framed me for its failure, and then used my genius to launch his own venture, all while still at Innovatech and on their dime. The sheer audacity was staggering. This wasn't just IP theft. It was corporate espionage, fraud, and a blatant misuse of company resources. I also found evidence he'd been running Flow's computationally intensive simulations on Innovatech servers during off-hours, using company licenses. With undeniable evidence in hand, code comparison reports, server logs, obtained through a carefully anonymized tip to an ex-colleague who confirmed suspicious server activity logs around the time of my project's failure, financial records linking Damien to Flow, and damning internal communications, I assembled a bulletproof dossier. I painstakingly crafted an anonymous report, detailing every transgression, every lie, every stolen line of code. I ensured my digital tracks were completely covered, routing everything through multiple layers of VPNs and burner accounts. The day of execution arrived. I simultaneously sent the dossier to Innovatech's board of directors, their internal ethics committee, and for maximum public pressure, an investigative tech journalist I knew had a strong reputation for uncovering corporate malfeasance. The journalist, a former colleague of mine named Megan Denny, was intrigued by the anonymous tip and the quality of the evidence. The fallout was swift and brutal. Innovatech launched a massive, top-level internal investigation. Within days, Damien Wester was publicly suspended, then fired. The journalist's exposé hit the major tech news sites just as Innovatech announced their findings, painting Damien as a villain of unprecedented corporate deceit. His name became synonymous with betrayal and theft. EthaFlow, already struggling, collapsed overnight. Innovatech sued Damien and EthaFlow for intellectual property theft and misuse of company resources, seeking damages in the tens of millions. Damien's personal investments, heavily tied into EthaFlow, evaporated. He faced not only financial ruin, but also potential criminal charges for fraud and corporate espionage. He was blacklisted from the tech industry, his name permanently tarnished, his reputation utterly destroyed. My own name, though never publicly cleared by Innovatech, was quietly vindicated within industry circles. Recruiters started reaching out again, and I even received an anonymous, heartfelt apology email from a former senior manager at Innovatech, which was all the confirmation I needed. Damien Wester lost everything he valued: his career, his wealth, his reputation, all built on a foundation of lies. And I found a new purpose, a new company, and a peace that only true justice can bring. Some betrayals cut deep enough to forge a weapon from your pain. Damien Wester learned that the hard way. He sowed the wind and reaped the whirlwind, and I finally got to watch it all burn.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.